8 p.m. in the studios of UBC TV. Hello there and welcome to News Tonight this Tuesday, the 19th day of November 2019. First though, let's have a look at our top stories. Health Ministry wants supplementary budget for medical interns. President Yoweri Museveni guides police on effective operations. Reports show a decline on literacy and numeracy in Twaweza. And also in the world, about 200 protesters remain barricaded inside a Hong Kong university. Hello there and welcome once again. On sign language, it is Mogalu Mohammed and I am Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma. Now, the president of Uganda Women Council, Lovin Kobsinja, has appealed for tax reduction and removal of roadblocks, which she says affects women businesses. Now, this was during the Uganda Women Fish Association symposium from different countries at Raiders Hotel, Mukono. Now, we'll be coming to that story. First, though, let's get this one from the State House, where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has asked tax authorities in Uganda to stop levying tax on subsistence economies as the people are doing petty businesses. Merely that is where they eke living from. Now, President was opening the 4th African Tax Administration Forum, a tough international conference on tax in Africa at Kampala Serena Hotel. Now, the 4-day TAF conference is on the theme innovation, digitalization, and harnessing technology to improve tax systems, and has attracted participants from 37 African countries and 11 from outside Africa.
President Museveni has this afternoon opened the 4th African Tax Administration Forum, ATAF, International Conference on Tax in Africa at Kampala Serena Hotel. The 4-day ATAF conference is running under the theme Innovation, Digitalization and Harnessing Technology to Improve Tax Systems, and has attracted participants from 37 African countries and 11 from outside the continent.
I congratulate you on 10 years of the organization.
The forum, that is running concurrently with its 10th anniversary since inception in 2009 in Kampala, aims at exploring ways and means of improving the efficiency and effectiveness of mobilization of tax collection in Africa. The conference further aims at looking for ways of optimizing revenue collections, minimizing human mistakes like corruption, and building capacity in revenue collection. President Museveni, who congratulated ATAF for the 10 years of existence, noted that taxing small-scale businesses was a big mistake, adding that only some kind of consumption, especially the luxury type, could be taxed.
I think if you want to help our economies to grow in Africa, we should minimize the taxation of production side. And many of our authorities want to tax them. I don't support that. My view is that leave those people, don't tax them. Let them earn some money and put it in their pocket. I know Ugandans, once they have a bit of money in the pocket, in the evening they will go to the bar. And when they're in the bar, there's a tax on every bottle of beer.
He also advised the tax body to digitally map all properties in towns to ascertain those that are for rent and private ones for easy tax assessment. He welcomed the move to install cameras in factories to monitor production lines of beer for quality and numbers, adding that there was a lot of tax evasion in the country. He said the same applies to imports, which should be monitored from the factories of manufacture and should bear the stamps of those industries. He raised concern about the inadequate scanning of cargo by the Uganda Revenue Authority at border entry points, urging the tax body to do more in that area.
There's a time when I smuggled 12 submachine guns, AK-47, from Tanzania through, there's a border called Lungalunga on the Kenya side, from Mombasa, all the way up to Kampala here. 12 machine guns. There was nothing. Those border people were just there.
The chairman of ATAP Council and executive chairman of the Federal Revenue Services in Nigeria, Mr. Tunde Fowler, thanked President Museveni for believing in the vision of ATAP, adding that Africa can solve its own problems. The Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, Doris Akol, outlined some successes and challenges the authority is facing, which, among others, include taking money out of the country digitally, in most cases evading taxes.
Relevant to this conference, the digital economy is one such challenge. You're familiar with the companies like Jumia, Google Adverts, Facebook, Kiku, and all the other digital companies that are active in your economies. They are everywhere. We have all used them in one way or another, and yet perhaps we have not registered commensurate revenue performance from these, because our policies have not equally adapted to the changing environment.
Let's shift our attention now to matters pertaining to the health sector, where the Ministry of Health is considering talks with the Ministry of Education and Sports to harmonize the services of medical interns in the country. The Minister of State for Primary Healthcare, Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, says the number of medical interns has overwhelmed the available finance that is also attributed to the mushrooming institutions that bring up the medical interns. Now, she was appearing before the Parliamentary Health Committee on issues raised by the medical interns recently. We have more in this report.
Parliamentary Health Committee, chaired by the Bukuya Member of Parliament, Dr. Michael Bukenya, has engaged medics to address complaints raised by medical interns in a recent petition to Parliament of Uganda.
And then they talked about the rotation policy, they talked about the pharmacists who are not being supervised.
The Uganda Medical and Dental Practitioners Council raised overwhelming challenges that evidenced the relevance of the medical interns petition. Among the challenges presented is few accredited internship training centers with limited capacity to handle big numbers. Most training centers lack recommended numbers of supervisors and an increasing number of interns due to increasing number of medical schools arising, among others.
This includes equipment, infrastructure, accommodation, and the report is available on that matter about the shortages of that. Minister of Health will lobby for more funding for internship training. Mr. Chairman, that funding, when they allocate money to the internship course, it is divided amongst all the interns who are there.
We at the Medical Council will not register anybody to become a medical practitioner unless he has done internship. And this is a worldwide requirement. And whenever you go to whatever country, if you want to be registered there, they're going to ask for two things. One, your graduation certificate, and two, your internship completion certificate. So we take this as a very serious area of training, and we need every support to support these people so that they can join the profession.
The Minister of State for Primary Health Care, Joyce Moriku, reveals a mismatch between the Minister of Health and Minister of Education and Sports in prior planning for the undergraduates. Moriku says the Minister of Finance Planning and Economic Development should consider a supplementary budget to accommodate medical interns. Currently, the medical interns deployed by the Minister of Health Totals are 1,170, contrary to the allocated budget that caters for 1,000 only.
Hospitals that provide internship training are limited in numbers in terms of infrastructure, capacity, equipment, and currently they are actually overwhelmed with the numbers that are being deployed. The Ministry of Health is currently discussing with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Education and Sports the best way to comfortably handle the big numbers of the medical interns, on of which this country needs all those doctors.
In October this year, medical interns under their umbrella body, Federation of Medical Interns, petitioned Speaker of Parliament to intervene in the grievances affecting their work. It should be noted that medical interns are not civil servants, hence the Ministry of Health only pays allowances to facilitate apprenticeship. Daniel Mugoya, reporting for UBC.
Thanks, Daniel, for that report. They are now pertaining to matters in relation to security. Police have been challenged to design simple operational plans to guarantee security and effective service delivery. President Yoweri Museveni wants at least 20 police officers deployed per sub-county to warrant resourceful policing at grassroots level. The president was addressing the police council at Naguru Police Headquarters in Kampala. Henry Okrut reports.
I think I don't know what you have planned, but if it was me, I would take those steps. Then with the issue of salaries, the issue of operational costs, money. But if you deploy yourself properly, you may find the money is not needed, is not so much. Because like these people are in the sub-county. Really, the sub-counties, they should be knowing more or less every home. Even the potential criminals, they should be knowing them. And they should be having a very good relationship with the people. So you may find this question of running up and down from the district to would be minimized.
We're going to have an operational retreat so that we plan according to the guidance he has given. We go to the ground, make an assessment, and implement it.
Now, the Minister for Energy, Irene Muloni, has denied reports that her ministry took 24 billion Ugandan shillings meant for the construction of Simba Bridge. Muloni explains the delay in the bridge was caused by the contractor who breached the agreement of constructing 2 lanes as earlier agreed.
In the update on Simba Bridge works, Minister Irene Muloni denied allegations of the ministry having the 24 billion shillings meant for Simba. Muloni says Uganda National Roads Authority, UNRA, is in charge and construction works have reached 20%.
We are not aware of the 24 billion Uganda shillings meant for the Simba Bridge that was allegedly eaten. Government contracted China International Water and Electric Corporation, CWE, through an EPC, that is engineering, procurement and construction contract, that was signed on the 6th of September 2013 to undertake project development. The Simba hydropower plant and transmission line components of the project were completed and commissioned by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda on 21st of March 2019.
Minister Muloni explains that the road designed by the contractor was found unsuitable for public use because the contractor had provided only 1 lane instead of 2 lanes as specified in the contract.
Therefore, government directed the contractor to construct a separate public bridge with 2 lanes as specified in the contract.
UNRA engineer Lawrence Pario gives detail of what has been done so far.
The 20% consists of 1, the access roads to the bridges, which are under construction. 2, the temporary jetty on the river channel, which is being constructed to undertake permanent works. The workshop, where we are erecting the gantries and where we are going to do the girders or beams for the bridges, for the bridge.
Mlon assured the public of complete work on the bridge by 31st December 2020. Mutanyi Helda, UBC.
Now, the head of the Anti-Corruption Unit in State House, Lieutenant Colonel Edith Nakalema, has urged lawful owners of land comprising Block 409 in Sisa Parish in Busiro, Wakiso District to continue unhindered with their projects without fear. Now, she gave the assurance in a meeting with complainants from Sisa over land ownership. Now, she convened the meeting where she met complaints over land ownership in Sisa. Now, the Balangira, with whom the people of the area have developed differences over land ownership, had been expected to attend the meeting but failed to show up, asserting that they had not been given formal invitations. Now, Lieutenant Colonel Nakalema said that the Balangira and their accomplices should be arrested and charged in courts of law for carrying arms and causing body harm to law-abiding wananchi. She was pleased to note that the Uganda Police Force has restored calm in the area that has been restored by Uganda Police. She reiterated that the people are free to use their property. Now, yesterday's meeting was a follow-up on the one that took place on the 10th of November 2019 at the Anti-Corruption Unit offices in Kampala. It is coming to 18 minutes after 8. We'll now take a very short break, but we'll return with business news. Stay with us.
Send money from Airtel to Airtel at 60% discounted rates. Yes, you can now send money for as low as 100 shillings and a maximum of 1,000 shillings. And that's not all. You can now withdraw up to 7 million shillings from your nearest Airtel money agent for as low as 12,500 shillings. Remember, depositing money is free, buying airtime through Airtel Money is free, Airtel Money and PIN registration is free. Do not pay any transaction charges directly to the agent, and never share your PIN number with anyone. Enjoy the lowest rates on sending and withdrawing money on Airtel Money today. Airtel Money, simple, instant, secure. Airtel, the smartphone network.
When the 2008 global economic crisis hit the globe, it hit Africa hard. The level of aid and direct investment fell significantly. African countries resolved to take charge of Africa's destiny by mobilizing revenue internally. So in November 2009, 25 African countries converged in Kampala to launch the African Tax Administration Forum, ATAF, a beacon of hope to strengthen Africa's revenue mobilization and administration. Now, ATAF is coming back to Uganda, where the journey began. It's coming to celebrate its 10th anniversary. Uganda is proud to host the 4th International Conference on Tax in Africa, ICTA, from the 19th to 22nd November 2019 at Kampala Serena Hotel to take stock of the lessons from the decade-long existence of ATAF and map the next course for Africa's tax administration. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Steve King on the beat.
Tateri wano mu UBC Gardens. Omuntu mutwala. Omukulu bambi jangu leta omwana gojja kuyingirira bwerere togisuwa bambi. Mama ngenda okuzina nze, mama ngenda okukyakala nze, mama ngenda okuzina n'abaana ku stage jangu olaba amazina g'otulabangako gagenda kubeera wano. Buli mwana anayimba jangu n'omutwalo gwo ogw'okuyingira. Mama wetujja okubeera nga tudigida nga tusanyuka. Ngenda kukola luyiro wano wonna wanene UBC Gardens bannange mwena ne mujja emitwalo emeka bambi bujjawo wano wonna mulengerawo wano wonna mulabawo wano wonna mulengerawo wano wonna Gardens za UBC end of the year wegenda okubeera party.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at what's happening in the world of business. A new UWEZO report has revealed a decline in literacy and numeracy levels of primary 3 to primary 6 pupils. Now, these findings were released by UWEZO at Twaweza, an East African initiative, in its 8th learning assessment report that was concluded in October 2018.
The learning achievements in the country. And in that year,
at the launch of this report, Kedres Turiagenda, the Director, Directorate of Education Standards, who represented the Minister for Education and Sports, says Uganda has increased access to education through universal primary education.
We've made quite a jump in terms of getting them enrolled, which Margaret was referring to. And at one point, I think we were even beyond the expected in terms of enrollment. However, we've been struggling with the quality of provision that we have.
The gap between the performance of private and government schools ensures the 4 pillars of education work together.
We look at getting proper learning when the 4 pillars are all standing. The first pillar is the learner. How is the learner? Is he fed? Is he happy? Does he have a uniform? Does he have shoes on? Does he have a lunch, a meal at school? This child. How is he? Is he encouraged at home, or is always abused only? The second pillar is the teachers. Do teachers prepare? Do they teach every lesson? And are they supervised to make sure they are teaching it well? Then the third one is the school leadership. Is the school leadership committed? Is the school leadership supervising? Is the school leadership providing the basics, books for teachers prepare and ensure that work is done? And then finally, the parents or the community. Is the parent doing his part? Is he giving the child food? Is he providing what is needed for the child to be happy? So
Nakabugo Maria Goretti, the Executive Director, Twaweza, says government should allow all local languages to be taught in schools to motivate pupils.
The first 3 years of primary education should be, the language of instruction should be the mother tongue, okay? The local language. But you have seen the findings here that there are variations across different languages.
Honorable Margaret Rabshaija, the chairperson, Uganda Parliamentary Forum for Quality Education, challenges district education officers to engage heads of schools.
The DEOs don't reach out to the schools. What they do, they ring the head teachers. Someone sits in the office and rings the head teachers one after another and say, come and bring your visitor's book and bring the ABCD that I want, and also my transport.
Patrick Kaboyo, Undersecretary from the Ministry of Education, urged parents to interact with teachers for better foundation.
Quality does not come only as a result of the interventions at school level. Quality is an effort of all the players, right from the homestead, the environment in which a child lives, and how much stimulation there is for that child before getting into an equally rich and responsive environment at the school level.
The report findings presents and discusses national estimates of the schooling status of children aged between 3 years to 14 years. Sebira Andrew and Shaidat Nassaku compiled this report for.
Now, over 8,000 candidates are sitting this year's Uganda Business and Technical Examinations, which started today. Now, at least 80,306 are sitting in 572 centers countrywide, as we hear in this report.
Students majoring in business technical studies have started their final examinations. At Rugogo Vocational Training Institute, students started with practical papers ranging from bricklaying and concreting to carpentry and joinery. About 1,000 students are sitting at this center. Marcelina Akumu and Melissa Nasua are among the female students offering carpentry, fitting and machining. Despite being courses affiliated to male students, Melissa and Akumu see in them a better future.
Okay, after this section I'm in, I intend to go for my diploma if money is there. But if money doesn't be there, I first go in some factory. I work there if I'm looking for the money to go to continue with my studies.
ebintu bino ebyemikono kale abantu babizala tebagala biwa budde naye ng'ate biba bya mugaso nnyo biyamba.
Instruction says 6 hours, but I think they will be able to finish it within the 6 hours. Then the other side of preparedness, I think they are well prepared because I see all the materials are there, all the tools and equipment that they are supposed to use, they are available.
The head
We'll be bringing that detailed report later on in our 10 p.m. bulletin. But that brings us towards the end of this bulletin. But before we leave you, let's have a recap of our top stories. In our news tonight, Health Ministry wants supplementary budget for medical interns. Matters pertaining to security, President Museveni guides police on effective operations. Taweza report shows a decline on literacy and numeracy. And elsewhere in the world, about 200 protesters remain barricaded inside a Hong Kong university. And that's all we had time for. Our next bulletin comes your way at 10 p.m. On sign language, it has been Mogalo Mohammed, and I am Edward Rukidi Kijenangoma. But we'll leave you with the weather forecast for tomorrow with Molin Kenyana. See you at 10.
I want to welcome you to the Weather Center. My name is Molin Kenyana, and we shall remember that the weather report is brought to you by Uganda National Meteorological Authority. Well, we still have a continuation of wet weather activities across most areas within the country, and according to the available data, by 9 o'clock this morning, we had Lira reporting the highest amount of rainfall, that was 27.3 millimeters. We also had a total of 13.3 across Jinja. Now move further to our satellite analysis, where we see that the rain belt is still widely spread across much of our region. And from this week, I anticipate that tomorrow in the morning, we're likely to start off the day with rainy conditions. Those will be across the Lake Victoria Basin, parts of eastern Uganda, as well as the western stretch. And across the north, as well as the northeastern part of the country, we shall see intervals of sunny and cloudy conditions. Now later in the afternoon is when we expect much more chances for rainy conditions. We shall see wet weather activities across much of the country. It will be another day for you to have your umbrella handy. Now we move on to our daytime highs, where we're expecting a cooler day across Kampala, cooler than what we were dealing with today. We shall see temperatures going up to 26. We also have a maximum of 29 that will be across the Karamoja region, and Kabale Highlands will be trending a little bit cooler than what we had today. We shall see a maximum of 23 degrees centigrade. The rest of the country, temperatures will be in upper 20s. Now across the world cities, we're forecasting rainy conditions for Dubai at a daytime high of 26. Also likely to have sunny conditions